Welcome to It Takes Two. I'm Blair.
I'm Chris.
And today we'll be talking about Love Island UK Season 12, Episode 6.
We need you to subscribe, like, share, comment, all the above. Listen here. Last week, we gave you basically a whole week's review in one video. I was holding down the fort by myself, so a lot of things look like it fell through the crack. But the full team is back, and we are in full swing right now. And I'm telling you, Blair, they want me activated in this episode. Because what I seen in this episode in Love Island UK, I'm like, oh, we doing this early in the season. They trying to play me. They trying to play you. And we're not going to let that happen. You ready?
I'm ready.
Let's do this.
So the ladies take a pause from watching the guys.
Yeah.
Helena's worried because Harry basically called her a red flag. Shakira tells her that Harry said that he had unfinished business with her and he didn't know if things with Helena was just flirty. Tommy called Megan an easy option and Toni wasn't feeling Conor's arm around Emma. So
let's keep going.
We then see the individual dates. First, we have Harry and Yasmin. Harry is ready to start a family. He says he has his life together. He's 30 years old. He repeats that there could be unfinished business with Shakira, but, you know, she has pride in herself. She's 22. She's ahead of her years. She has self-respect, and she's not just going to run back to me. They're both attracted to each other, and he says he has a good hand right now.
Okay.
That was crazy to me.
My man, listen here. He ain't trying to fall in love. He playing poker.
Yes.
You get what I'm saying? What is your thoughts on this scene, Blair?
I think that the compliments to Shakira doubled as a dig to Helena. And I did not like that because he was flirting with the girl, telling the girl, come tap my foot so we can go to the hideaway.
Yeah.
All for you to turn around and make it seem like she's just a good time girl.
Yeah.
That's crazy. That's absolutely crazy.
But here's the thing about it. How you get them is how you lose them. Helena, you was the one that participated in this foot tapping game that y'all did. You was the one that basically, I'm not going to call it girl's girl because it's early in the season. While he was cuddling Shakira and things like that, you was the one that went to the hideaway with him and slept there throughout the night to the point where everybody else was dressed and having breakfast. Y'all was the only two fools coming out in y'all pajamas from the night before.
Yeah.
So you do look like, hey, I am the having a good times girl. You are, or at least it perceives that, hey, I'm not going to take you seriously because you're willing to do something like that. And I'm just like, hey, if you want to be respected, you got to make sure that it's across the whole board, not just like when you just want to have fun and things like that. But that doesn't take away the fact that Harry would be disrespectful.
Yeah, and I will say the whole comment about having a good hand right now, Shakira says she's done with you.
Yeah.
Like, for him to think that he still has her in the bag in some type of way, I hope I'm not proven wrong. But I think that's wild to say. The girl told you no, but he thinks that he can, you know, sway her some type of way. You've got Helena. You got the girl you were sneaking around with. Was it just fun because y'all was sneaking around?
Yes.
Or are you really interested in her? And I guess it was only fun to sneak.
Yeah. Listen. I'll let you know if I'm into you if I tell you to tap my foot tonight.
Okay.
And then you meet me in the hideaway. You get what I'm saying? Yep.
So we go to Emily and Conor. Sorry, I called her Emma. Emily and Conor. He said that he's open and he looked at her straight away. He plans to be respectful, but he does want to get to know her. She's already asking for coffee tomorrow. He says he made coffee for Toni this morning, so she got to chill a little bit. Just hold out on that a little bit.
Now, if we was to compare the two dates, would you say this date was more disrespectful than the date that Harry had?
I don't, because Conor didn't make any digs towards Toni.
Exactly.
I think the only digs he made were kind of just his honest feelings of the fact that they both aren't each other's type.
Yeah.
And they're trying to get to know each other and things are blossoming. And I would say Toni would agree that she probably has those same thoughts. So I felt like Conor was respectful in the way that he didn't talk down about Toni during their date. He focused it on her.
Yeah, and I don't want the viewers to be confused. This is not movie night. This is not them reviewing what happened at Casa.
Yeah.
You get what I'm saying? This is literally a random outing that the guys had in episode 5. Right. And now we're seeing the effects of it in episode 6. So if there's anything that he wanted to say in the sense of how he feel about Toni, he's free to say it because he's not closed off. You get what I'm saying? I think he actually was probably the most respectful because in a way he kind of said, hey, you know what? I'm interested. You know what? You're beautiful. Things like that. I'm paraphrasing. And then when it came down to breakfast, he actually said, you know what? Let's just so I can fully get to know Toni, I don't want my lines to get crossed right here. I don't want wires to get crossed right here. I say between the two, between the Conor date and the Harry date, I put as Harry was more disrespectful than Conor. You know?
Yeah. So next we have Dejon and Militia.
Yeah.
They both cheers to new beginnings, getting to know each other. They find out that they both like to club at the same spot. She's only been in situationships, but she would like someone who knows what he wants.
Yeah.
They talk about possibly going on vacation together someday if they actually, you know, end up coming out of here together. And Meg is just making faces, acting bratty, making nasty comments pretty much throughout the whole thing. And I thought that she was being a little bit much.
I mean, like as I said before, this is not Casa.
Yeah.
This is not a situation to where they have been closed off for over a month and things of that nature, and then they are being tested. This is not even a test.
Yeah.
This is literally just guys going on a date, and the girls just get the eavesdrop. And truth be told, I would consider this date right here that he had with this bombshell not disrespectful at all, right? The only disrespectful thing about these separate dates is that Harry talked about how he have a good hand right now. He basically making it seem like these people are not people.
Right.
Dude, you get what I'm saying? But I think saying what you would like to do, saying in the sense of what is your interest, your likes, I don't think that's disrespectful to say if you are coupled up with somebody right now and you're still open to explore. And
I felt like the Dejon and Militia date was just a perfect example of what it means to be open.
Yeah.
You're not downing the person that you're with, but you are contemplating, you know, getting to know the other person and what a future or just kind of what fun looks like if you guys were to actually be together. So I felt like it was Dejon exploring, and I think Meg was I think Meg was getting hot behind the neck because she was figuring that she might leave the villa.
Yeah.
I think she was stressing about that because I don't think she liked Dejon from the beginning.
Facts.
And I think she turned the heat up once Shakira started grafting in order to keep him interested and to keep her spot. But she don't want to leave the show. And I think that's where a lot of her frustration comes from.
And here's the thing about it. We can't talk around it. We got to address the elephant in the room. There's just a commonality between these two already with Dejon and how do you say her name? Militia. You get what I'm saying? When they first got paired together, talk about Meg and Dejon, she basically was like, I don't know, you know, I'm 50-50 and things like that. But now that she saw eliminations happen in the sense of, hey, somebody take your man and you're gone, there ain't no like, oh, you get to be single and kind of go around and things like that. And also, she feels like she is the HBIC, I think that's the yep. So she feels like she's mama bear of the villa. So she don't want to be embarrassed by Dejon, not Dejon. You know, I'm fast forwarding, but we heard her say in the episode he should be lucky that he's with her.
Yeah.
Because she's the HBIC.
Yeah.
Let's continue on because I got much to say about that once we actually get there.
So the guys return, immediately see the screen.
Oh, yeah.
Helena gives Harry the cold shoulder, and the girls and guys separate to chat. So the girls weren't really feeling Yasmin's sly comments. Toni tells, I don't know if the girl's Emily or Emma. I wrote two different
Her
names.
name is Emily.
Okay, Emily. Toni tells Emily that she made a good impression and she and Conor were respectful.
Okay.
The guys, they discuss how their dates went, and everyone enjoyed themselves. Now, Helena and Harry talk. She's also upset because he aired out her dirty laundry to the boys about how she had a threesome, and it made her seem like this wild party girl.
Yeah.
She thought he was being disrespectful, and he doesn't think he was.
You know what I mean? Now listen here. You got to pay attention to the little clues. If I'm saying, Blair, I felt like what you did was disrespectful, and your response is not like, oh, I'm sorry, that wasn't my intention.
Yeah.
Like, here's the thing about it. There's ways you can apologize to where it's like, oh, that wasn't my intention. I don't mean for you to feel that way. But to basically dismiss it in a way of, no, I didn't do that. That in a way lets me know that I don't take you seriously. I don't take this coupling seriously. And you are the fun girl. And you don't even garner the respect of an apology of basically like, oh, I didn't mean to do that to you.
And Harry made the comment that, I was just expressing my thoughts. Helena, I want you to listen. This is what he thinks about you.
Yeah.
This is what he thinks.
Yeah.
So Toni tells Yasmin that she wasn't a fan of her comments. Yasmin just doesn't see the long distance working between Toni and Conor. And Toni tells her, you don't know what's going to work between me and Conor, and you really don't even know me.
Okay. Blair, is the long distance going to work with Toni?
No.
So like, I don't even know what Toni's doing here. You get what I'm saying? Toni, you was brought here as basically a twist. This is the equivalent of actually going into a corporate building, a corporate office with a business, right? And they say, give us something new for Love Island UK for this season. Something that will blow people's minds. And besides actually them getting paid to actually think of fresh ideas for something that will be innovative, something that will breathe life into the whole franchise, they say, how about, that Love USA is trying to take over. How about we bring an American to the UK? Toni, it's not gonna work. Like you're here as basically a whole gimmick. You're not here to really But here's the thing about it. There's a chance for maybe you and Conor to make it. Maybe, because Conor does seem likable. He does seem respectable and things like that, at least compared to y'all two, right?
Yeah.
But I think a lot of people are behind Megan and Tommy. But Megan, you got some points taken off for me in this episode as well that I'm going to talk about. But, Toni, it's not going to work, in my opinion.
And for me, I'm kind of getting tired of Toni's Billy Bad behind act, or even if that's her real personality, talking about she's not scared of people and all this type of stuff. Nobody's scared of you either.
Yeah. Hey, yeah. Don't bring America's violence to the UK. I want to apologize for my fellow American Toni, okay? Even though she is from America, she ain't my kinfolk. You know what I mean? So, yeah, you're right, Blair. You are 100% right. I ain't noticed that until you said it. And I was like, you are kind of bucking at people for no reason. I'm like, why are you bugging at people for? But I feel you.
And the thing is, I don't fault her for confronting Yasmin, because Yasmin did have some slick little comments, but I don't think it called for the harshness and the tough knuck if you buck energy. You know, it could have been a cute little conversation, and Yasmin might have apologized at the end of it once y'all got to know each other. So anyway, Megan Dejon. She says that he violated her, he failed the test, and his was the worst date out of everyone. You told the boys if Meg wants to get to know someone else, she was never mine to begin with. And he just says that he doesn't want to disappoint her. We're both open to getting to know new people and each other. And Meg tells him she shuts things down when it comes to the other boys every time.
What are your thoughts?
Well, Meg, that defeats the purpose of being open.
Yeah.
And I think that she was being a bit irrational during this conversation. I understand that the weight of it could feel like it was disrespect, but it felt like disrespect in my eyes, because you couldn't imagine Dejon, the guy you were 50-50 on, the guy you couldn't really see his eyes, to actually want to be with somebody else.
Not Darky.
Essentially.
Yeah, I know, right?
Not him. Thinking that he can, get to know other people and actually have a better connection than me.
Yeah.
So, yeah, the disrespect was that you thought that you were hot stuff and he's getting to know people like he said he was. So
I have a theory, and I've spoken of this theory many times in other shows that we reviewed. Make sure y'all check that out. I have a theory called the tightrope theory, right? When it comes to dating somebody, you do not want to date someone that puts you on a tightrope. I am not a gymnast. I am not an Olympian and things like that. I know I look like I am, but
I've tried. They said I was too tall.
You are too tall, Blair. So anyway, right? The whole idea is that, hey, you have to be perfect for this relationship to work. That's the whole idea of someone's putting you on a tightrope, and you're basically doing this the whole time, making sure you don't make a mistake. I feel like my man Dejon, his whole date was not disrespectful, but the whole thing about it is, hey, Dejon, the secret is I don't even really like you like that.
Hello.
So because I don't like you like that, you have to make sure that you have basically 100s across the board. You can't make me feel any type of way. You can't embarrass me. You can't do that. Now imagine if she was with somebody that she actually liked, right? I mean, that she was actually like, oh, I really like this guy. The way that Ben thinks about himself. Right. You know what I mean? Like, guess what? She'd be very forgiving. She'd be more understanding. It wouldn't be such an irrational conversation. She's over there saying things that is common amongst them two and basically disqualifying what she's saying in the same sentence. She said, oh, yes, we're open, but at the same time, we're not talking to other people. I'm like, I don't even know what that means.
Exactly.
So that's what I'm saying. She put him on a tightrope because at the same time, you heard her say it in this episode, he should feel lucky that you are with me. Oh, no. We gonna get there. Let's keep going, Blair.
So Conor and Toni talk. They both agree he didn't say anything crazy.
Yeah.
And out of the 3 dates, Toni felt like he was the least offensive. Toni just asked for honesty in the future because she knows no one is closed off. And I appreciate how she handled this.
That's fair.
I appreciated that. So Meg gets into Harry's behind, saying he was disrespectful and saying that he had unfinished business with Shakira. And he was pretty much just trying to de-escalate the conversation because he didn't want to hear about himself. Melisha ended up grabbing Dejon for a chat.
Yeah.
They're talking, chatting, laughing. He fills Meg in. He fills her in on how the conversation went with Meg. And Meg is over there talking to Harry, saying that she hasn't seen Dejon laugh this much with a girl in her whole life. You don't know this man.
Yeah, and also you're not funny, so of course you never see me laugh.
And it also looks like she's about to start crying. Melisha says that he's in here for himself, so he should go for what he wants, which Dejon tells her he definitely will.
Yeah.
Meg is talking mess in the kitchen about like the club that they go to and all this different type of stuff. And Melisha calls her out because sounds like you talking about me a little bit crazy. And Meg is saying that she's essentially saying what she wants to say and she's going to say it with her chest.
Meg is only as powerful as the people she has behind her.
Yeah.
Right? This is what you call, like, literally, that's the beauty of these shows, is that you actually get to see, like, elementary school, middle school, primary school, whatever y'all call it over there, behavior, right? Here's the thing about it. One thing, I don't know if y'all noticed, but in the episode, you can hear how people in the villa, at least a person that I've heard, reference to Meg and Dejon as, oh, is mom and dad back together? Right? So there is a, I would say, a tier, or basically there's a position that she feels like she's at. She feels like she's at a position, talking about Meg, to where not only can she check the person that she's in a relationship with, but I can go check Harry, because I am basically the HBIC, right? I am the one that basically regulate the villa, right? Everybody likes me. Everybody want to try to basically get my approval. So what is she trying to do? She's talking this loud about this girl because she's mom of the villa. So what she's doing indirectly and passively, she's trying to get all the girls to basically go against this one girl.
Yep.
You get what I'm saying? Like that's what I'm saying. We can see what you're trying to do, because the thing about UK, which I gotta give y'all blame for, no bail out of jail for this. When y'all try to do these games, y'all not really very slick with it. Like, it's very obvious. I guess that's the bad part about living in America. It's like we see all types of it. We see even at its extreme case. So when we see it with Meg doing, I'm like, Meg, I know what you're trying to do. And really, you're just scared. It comes off as if you're scared and you're insecure, because whole time while you trying to convince this guy that, hey, he should be lucky, guess what? Him and this bombshell that I don't know how to say her name, Melisha. Remember Melisha, right? Dejon and Melisha just do this without even talking.
Yeah.
Because guess what? Hey, you look like me. I look like you. But besides, you over here criticizing how he looked on the first day. So that's why I'm like, she's trying to be a mean girl and trying to get her little minions to basically bully her out. Where is Alima? I need her to be next to this bombshell, Melisha.
Right.
There we go. I'm going to get the name right.
So we get to Helena and Harry. He said that he said sorry, but Helena is more concerned about his actions moving forward. I didn't hear the sorry personally, but maybe it was off screen. Doubt it. He said that he'd rather she be alone and happy if she's going to be upset with him, because he's not selfish. I think he just doesn't want to have to deal with the repercussions of his actions, honestly.
And also, and now here's the thing about it. Even though I think his actions is 100% wrong, I actually agree with him.
Yeah.
Because what I did was wrong. But if you're going to be this way, we're not even we're not closed off. Let me know now so I can just move on from you and things like that.
Yeah.
So even though he's wrong, I can kind of see his point right here.
I'll give Helena at least a day to be a little bit pissy.
Of course.
I'll give her a day. I feel like Harry wasn't giving her enough time to kind of get her mind together.
No, 100. I am 100% behind her when it comes to how he disrespected her. But at the same time, disrespect get disrespected. What you did with the whole tagging the toe thing in the middle of the night while he's calling the person that that's just you can't yell from the mountaintops, you disrespected me, while you was a collaborator in disrespecting somebody else. It's like no, I understand you could be mad, but karma.
Okay.
You know what I mean?
So normally she would cut him off, but she's into him and he is into her too.
Of course.
Meg and Melisha have their chat.
Okay, Melisha.
Melisha apologizes for shouting at her from across the way. She felt like people were against her and she wasn't really prepared for just the frostiness of the villa.
Of course.
Meg said that, look, to be honest, we're more so upset with the boys and it's not really about you, and please don't take it personally. Melisha gets that Dejon is still open and he did say that he was interested, but she also reassures Meg that he said that you guys were in a good place. Meg says sometimes good isn't enough, but there's no hard feelings, and they hug it out.
I don't even know what that means.
Yeah, honestly, I think Melisha did a good job by apologizing in a way to kind of like open the conversation in this way that I'm not trying to get into it with you. But I don't feel like she needed to apologize because you were talking mess and within earshot, so that way I could hear it. But if I reacted, then I'd be overreacting.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, people do that. I hate when people do that. And then my thing though is that Meg's not going to take this line down because she does not want to leave the island. The fact that you're even talking to her man is an issue for her. But I do applaud Melisha for handling it the way that she did. But yeah.
See, the thing about Melisha, which I agree, I feel like she didn't have to apologize, but at the same time, she didn't have to take she didn't have to take that bait.
Exactly.
That bait was,
she could have let that slide.
That bait was low hanging fruit. You get what I'm saying? So I do think what she does later on in the episode, that is a more reasonable, like, hey, I'm going to confront you about this, than like me overhearing you talk about what club and things of that nature. But the thing about it is, she said something about, hey, I just wasn't ready for the coldness of the villa. That's intentional. Yeah. Like, Meg she is basically turning everybody against you. So guess what? You won't have a girls relationship. You won't have no sisterhood and things like that. You'll be on the outside while you're inside the villa. You know?
So Emily and Conor talk. They're both still really into each other. She liked the coffee he brought her, and she felt like he listened to her. So, you know, they're on good footing still.
Okay, so he got a coffee.
Yasmin talks to Shay, and I will say, when I saw them sitting down together, I was like, this is like a good-looking couple. If this could be a thing, like, they look good together to me. Yeah. So the attraction is there between them. She asks, do you think you can handle me? He says yes. And he asks what she would think about sharing a bed. And that's something that she would not mind.
Here's the thing. They may look good, Blair, but guess what? I need personality from my winners.
Yeah, that's true.
So here's the thing about it. Y'all may look good and y'all may be an item, but guess what? If y'all such an item, we would send both of y'all home together and y'all can continue on with y'all relationship outside the villa.
That too.
I need y'all to have personality. You know what I'm saying?
So Melisha gives Meg a heads up. So they're both walking into the backyard, and Melisha tells Meg, look, I'm going to give you a heads up. I'm about to pull Dejon for a chat. I don't want you to be blindsided. Yeah. Dejon was thinking Meg's reaction was ridiculous yesterday, and they both feel like it's just easy to talk to each other, Dejon and Melisha. So it's nighttime. Dejon says if Meg is coming with the same energy as yesterday, he's going to be done with her. Melisha tries to pull him to the hideaway for a chat, but he already knows that's going to cause an issue, so he tells her, no, let's just go to the terrace. Meg is seething, y'all. Like, she's literally boiling in her skin. Yeah. Dejon tells Melisha if Meg is coming with the same energy, it's a wrap. And Melisha tells him, you know, I am interested in you, but basically you kind of got to get your head together because I'm not going to be chasing you this whole time.
Also, translation, you need a backbone, Dejon. Like, I understand that you're not wrong in this, but this whole idea of basically when you're getting talked down to by this woman, right, and I'm talking about Meg, that is, when you're getting talked down by Meg and things of that nature, you need to speak up just a little bit more with your head up and your chest out, right? You may say things like, well, we're not closed, we're open to explore, but hold your head up and have your chest out. Don't let her dominate you in that conversation. You don't have to yell to be dominant. You can literally just state your point, and guess what? You don't have to make it seem like to where she basically said, you're lucky. You know? Yeah.
Yeah. So Helena and Megan hype Meg up to go up to the terrace. So she's listening to their conversation outside the door before she walks in. Melisha walks out so they can have their time to chat. And Dejon tells her that he did not like how she handled that situation yesterday. He said, like, you were saying damaging words, and it's kind of like you were making me out to be like I'm a fake person, which I'm not. He gets watching the date would get her upset, but how he handled these tough times is also important. It's still early on. He doesn't want to call call it quits, but if this conversation wouldn't have gone well, he would have been done with her. And I'm glad he told her that to her face.
Facts.
Meg knows that she overreacted, but she feels like she had a right to. Her emotions were high. She wouldn't have been cuddling in the bed with him if she really didn't, want to work things out. She feels like she gave him time to process things, and he should count himself lucky. Dejon tells her, we need to just communicate more. The overreaction was a bit much. You're still my number one, and they hug.
She said something more demeaning than that, right? She said that not only wouldn't I be cuddling you in the bed, you will be out in the day beds getting bit up, basically.
Yeah, she did say that.
So I will put you out the room, even though usually what we see is if the person have a problem with the other person,
they leave.
But since I have a problem with you, Dejon, right? You're going to be outside getting bit up by the bugs, right? And you should be lucky that we are in a relationship. First of all, Meg, I'm going to tell you something straight up, right? You're not even one of the best looking contestants that we've seen on Love Island, like franchise UK altogether, right? When it comes down to your attitude and the way that you don't even understand that you think you're the puppet master, but while you're over there running upstairs to the terrace trying to disrupt things, those little minions that work for you, they laughing at you. And they making you do things that they wouldn't even do themselves, right? So this whole idea that basically you think you can run things and you over here telling him that, hey, you have the right to feel what you feel. I hope he really takes it in account and have some self-esteem and stand up for himself and realize, you know what? I'm tired of having these type of I'm tired of these conversations to where not only are you mommy of the villa or things of that nature, you're trying to act like you're like mommy over me and things like that. This is day 6, episode 6, whatever day it is, and you're already acting like we're closed off. But truth be told, it's not that she wants to be closed off. When you feel like you're in a relationship with somebody that you view as below you, they can't embarrass you. Yeah. So if somebody was to come in as a bombshell that she was genuinely interested in, she would have no problem dumping Dejon like a bad habit, right? But it's the idea of, oh no, you can't dump me because look at me, look at you. People like you don't dump me. You should feel lucky to be with me. That's literally what she said.
That is what she said.
That's the premise that she's giving off. So Meg, already, I have a saying get the what's the word? Boys off the island, right? I want the crazies off the island. You get us? I want the microaggressions off the island. You get what I'm saying? Because Meg, you're coming off, forget being a good partner. You're not coming off as a good person. And I don't want to see you on my TV screen.
And I'm going to just lay it bare, be honest with y'all. I think with Meg, it is entitlement. With a sprinkle of racism.
Oh, I think you got to pour a little bit more.
And the reason I say that is the thing is like not everything, which we all know if up to the date in 2025 is overt. Some things are covert, like you were talking about microaggressions. And I also think that as long as I can get what I want to get out of you, I can cuddle with you, I can kiss you, I can do these things which you should be oh so grateful for.
Oh yeah.
But the minute that you actually are your own person and have your own desires and want to have your own experience on Love Island, I have a right to overreact. Crazy.
Go out there and sleep in the field, boy. And here's the thing about it. Don't look at this channel as two blacks talking about, oh yeah, they only see racism in this way. And look, I bet that y'all want the black couple to win. Truth be told, no, I don't. I actually want Tommy to win, to be honest. But the way that Megan was basically backing her mama up like as an airhead, I want Tommy to be with a new girl now. So I'm not specifically cheering for Dejon or even Alima to win the game. So far, even though I feel like he's cool, I feel like Dejon don't have the personality to carry a show. I feel like Alima, I sometimes forget she's there. You get what I'm saying? So that's why I'm like, it's not just so much, oh, y'all just get behind the black people. It's just like, no, it's just like Meg's just being so obviously disrespectful. It's just weird to watch,
So Melisha grabs Meg for a chat. Meg didn't like how Melisha wanted to pull him to the hideaway, and she felt like there was no respect there. Melisha tells her, And she was also like, you apologized to me the other day, but you're going to do something disrespectful today.
Mm-hmm.
And Melisha says, I apologize for shouting, not for anything that I said.
Yeah.
And she can speak to who she wants. She has no loyalty to Meg. And it's been just a few days that you've even known this man, so you can really calm down. Meg says, well, don't say sorry, then try to take my man to the hideaway the next day. And to me, this is another overreaction, irrational conversation that Meg is having because she has the right to.
Exactly. It's just weird.
Like she said, she has the right to be this way. And I don't understand how she has the right to be this way. She's a bombshell just like all the other girls were bombshells. Yeah. And Melisha definitely has a right to pull and talk to who she wants and ask people to the hideaway if she wants to.
Exactly.
It's open. It's open for people to use. So I'm off of Meg. I'm also off of Megan because Megan is over here talking about, talking chat and talking mess. And Melisha is yelling across the way, kind of trying to check Megan. And Megan is asking why is she yelling and all this type of stuff. It's because y'all hyped this girl up to create some mess, and if Melisha responds, now it's the big bad lady causing trouble, and now you're
call her idiot and stuff like that. Here's the thing about it: when you actually listen to Meg talk, she never makes sense. Never makes sense. So you're 100% right when you say it's just a pattern of just irrational conversations, right? This whole idea of basically, hey, you only known this guy for like this long, y'all not even closed off, but still you need to be respectful. I don't owe you loyalty. Okay. And then she have nothing else to say. Now we just get into insults.
Yeah.
You like so that's why. And then guess what? People blindly follow Meg, as Megan was, you know what I mean? And that's when she's like, how are you over here in that conversation? She said, well, I can hear from all the way over here. I'm just like, oh, you're just basically, guess what? It's just regular elementary school, middle school, basically mean girl type of stuff.
Yeah.
It really makes no sense.
And that's all I got.
Listen here, let us know what y'all thought about the whole interaction, the whole altercation. Whose side are you on? Are you on Meg's side? Are you on Melisha's side, right? Dejon, I feel like, brother, you gotta make a choice. And the truth of the matter is, I know what choice you want to make. I want to know, are you man enough to make it right now? That's really what I know. I mean, that's really what I want to know. Because I don't know how long I can take somebody telling you that you should be lucky that you with them when y'all not even closed off.
And they have a right to overreact. If it was me, I wouldn't have thought the conversation went well.
No.
Because I think you're talking to me crazy. I'm sorry.
Yeah, talking about I'm outside in the field getting
this
bit
is
by the
not
bucks.
going well.
No. So let us know what you think. We will be back tomorrow to review scene by scene again. Check out the other episodes. Check out USA if y'all haven't. And we see y'all then.
Bye.